Snoop Dogg hosts this year's MTV Europe Music Awards, live from Munich on the 1st of November.
Can you turn the camera off for a minute, please? Let's turn the camera I said turn the off! So growing up, I've been known for quite an eclectic mix of music. Whether it's country music, I love a bit of Toby Keith, God rest his soul, and I love a bit of everything. We're talking like, I don't mind a bit of Spice Girls, a bit of Taylor Swift, but Snoop Dogg was there from the beginning. You know, Mr. Snoop D-O-double-G has always got a part in my heart. I was always listening to his music covertly as a young man because I wasn't allowed to listen to music with naughty words in. And a lot of his songs had words which I kind of tried to blur out of my mind so I didn't get in trouble or use them in everyday passing so I didn't get a slapped ass from my dad. And I always thought that his iconic cars were amazing. You know, the 60s Cadillacs, the Impalas, all those kind of lowriders were amazing. Not only do they look fantastic in 20 feet of pure Detroit metal, but you've also got this stunning paintwork, and then you've got the rendition of, you know, the hydraulic suspension with the audio, and you've always got some rather favourable, beautiful lady who's pretty much hanging out the side of it, off the back of it, or bouncing up and down in it, because of the hydraulics, of course, just want to make that clear. And you know what, growing up, Snoop Dogg is one of those people, like, he's been cleared of murder, he's, you know, overcome people's thoughts about him. You know, he is a TV presenter on kids TV. He's got a TV show. So Snoop's been known for even run-of-the-mill shows which families sit around and watch, like Monk and other day-to-day TV shows, and to basically see that the world has accepted him even though there's this been shady past in the rear. And when I found one of his cars rotting away in a field, my heart sunk. Not only did I want to do right for this gentleman, I wanted to put that car back to how it should be, but I needed to save it from being mouldy, disgusting, dilapidated, and basically destroyed. We're talking probably 10 years ago now, I went to London Motor Museum, which was basically the holy grail of playgrounds for any car guy in Europe. He had everything from GT40s to McLaren F1 replicas to Superbirds to Eleanor cars. Like, there was absolutely everything. But in the lowrider section, there was one iconic car. And no one actually knew if the story was real or not, but there was a placard in front of the car that said, "This is Snoop Dogg's Cadillac Snoop DeVille," that he used in the MTV Music Awards, and every time he came to England for anything he needed, he'd borrow the car out of the London Motor Museum. And Elo from London Motor Museum had this car, and basically no one knew if it was real. And some of the photos that were shown from 20 years ago showed a signature on the armrest, which was not present in the last 10 years. No one's actually seen that signature since this video. And when I went up to the car, there was speculation to, number one, why the flag on the bonnet wasn't a Jamaican flag or an African flag or something like that. You know, I don't know of Snoop Dogg's past or where he grew up or where he came from, but to have a German flag on the bonnet was weird. You know, this is Snoop Dogg's car. I know it's a lowrider. It's a 1966 Cadillac Coupe de Ville convertible, and it had the wires, it had the hydraulics, it's got Snoop DeVille written on the back. But why the German flag? And then I started looking into it, and I phoned Elo and I said, "Elo, I found your car in a field, it's rotting away." He said, "Well, that car actually isn't owned by me at the moment. Since his transition to Miami, the cars from the museum, which have obviously gone to a collector or are being held in confinement or whatever, have been left in storage, which then was outside storage, which is predominantly the gentleman can't keep the cars in storage anymore, so the cars are being sold." So I'm like, "I want to buy the car. Are you opposed to it?" He said, "Sam, they're not my cars. I can't have anything to do with them. Crack on. Do what you want to do." So I went there, we negotiated left and right, and I finally managed to get the Snoop DeVille. And when you see this car in its condition, it is like seeing the Mona Lisa to flick your fag ash on like an ashtray. It is absolutely devastating. This car was once an iconic music legends car that actually opened the MTV Music Awards in 2007. I have got a video of Snoop D-O-double-G sat on the back seat in the middle with a load of beautifully stunning ladies parading the car and driving it to open the Munich Music Awards for MTV back in 2007. And at first I didn't believe it. I was like, do you know what, this car's in the museum, feels a bit far-fetched that this could be Snoop Dogg's car, number one. Number two, are the stories real? You know, I'm a lover of a story. A story will always open my wallet for you. But is this his car? And then when you watch the video, which I'll show you right now, the car drives out and you see Snoop Dogg on the back of the car doing all his hand gestures and loving life to his Snoop Doggy Doggy. Don't know it and don't ask me to sing ever again. But he drives out and the MTV Music Awards opens with this car. The flag peels out of the tunnel with the amazing flag over the bonnet. Then you pan from the flag down the side of the car to Snoop Dogg sat on the back. And it is, my heart sank. Every part of me came alive to the point of I've actually bought Snoop Dogg's real Cadillac Coupe de Ville. And I was blown away. I've never been so excited because although, you know, I don't live and breathe Mr. Snoop Dogg, he's always been a part of our growing up, whether it's chilling out with a girl or maybe you're in a nightclub and you hear a song and you and your mates react to it or something. He will have a part in everyone's life that they'll remember one of his songs. It was a matter of what can I do? How can I preserve this car? I've seen him on the car. It's got his name on the car. Is it his car? Yeah? And then I reached out to Elo. I said, Elo, I need to know the history on the car. And he said, well, that car, I got a phone call from MTV saying that Snoop Dogg has been given the opportunity to open the MTV Music Awards and we're giving him a Mercedes. And he's like, I ain't driving a piece of shit Mercedes on stage. That's what I got told. I don't know if it's true or not. He's like, I need something else. So he reached out to Elo and he said, well, I've got a 66 Cadillac Coupe de Ville on hydros, audio's freaking banging, white interior, it will work. And they're like, cool, we'll have it. So basically he shipped it to Amsterdam where they had a rush paint airbrush job done to make it a bit more German. It's the Munich MTV Music Awards, let's make it more German. Had the Snoop DeVille painted on the back of it, allowed by Snoop Dogg. He also endorsed the car by signing the armrest. This car now is in such a dilapidated state that the seats look like they've been covered in yogurt and left in a field for 10 years. Like they're green and you can see where the slugs have worked through the seats and stuff like that. It is absolutely vile to the point where my valeter, my detailer, as you guys call it over here, actually threw up in the back of the car while cleaning the car. It was that bad. It was absolutely disgusting. Elo said, look, he used the car twice. And when I did the first video, it did hundreds of thousands of views on my channel, which was fantastic. And one guy said, hey, I'm Snoop's cousin. There's no way that this piece of shit is his. He would never be affiliated with this car. I've known him, I've been on tour with him for 20 years. This is not his car. And I either thought there's two things happening right now. He's either a keyboard warrior that is just being a douchebag, or it's kind of real. It's 50-50. You know, we know about these people that love to add to our comments on our videos. And I just left the comment in. I thought, you know what? Fair enough. That's someone's opinion. It may be fact, it may not. And then about 3 weeks later, I had the Holy Grail reply. I was hoping Snoop Dogg would reply, never did. I think he's been tagged in it, whatever. He goes, hey, it's Fonz, which is his name. I was with Snoop last night, and his eyes lit up when I showed him your video. He said this car was used for the Up and Smoke tour in the early 2000s, and we opened the MTV Music Awards with this car. So why would someone that would be a keyboard warrior calling bullshit up here go back on his comment and go back on himself, but leave the original comment in? To me, that rings pretty true, right? That this could be Fonz, his cousin. This could be Snoop's car. And that, for me, was the one thing that I kind of feel like, do you know what? Fair play. I found the freaking car, you know? This is his car. It could be his. And now this is where it's going to get very, very awkward. So it's May at the minute. And in July, April, May, June, in 3 months, he is going to be opening the Olympics in Paris, I've been told. So in my opinion, Mr. Snoop D-O-double-G, if you're out there and you're watching this amazing VINwiki video, I ask you one thing. If there's any chance I can bring this car, drive this car, I'm not going to trailer queen it. I'm going to drive this car to you, sir, in Paris, and I'm going to do everything to get this car in front of you. If you want to look at it, if you want to say hi, if you want to check it out, cool. If you want to not see it at all, that's absolutely fine. But I'd love to get a response from you, my friend. You know, you've definitely chiseled a lot of people's lives and changed the way we look at different cultures. I'm pretty sure people's religious beliefs have changed because of you. I'm pretty sure people's opinion of skin color has also been changed. I think you've changed the world for the better. If I can come and shake your hand, sir, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to do the car justice. If I don't get a chance to say thanks, I'm going to do the car justice, and hopefully that's enough. I think this car could be really special. I think we could basically bring it back to life. We work with the legends at Impulse Automotive in Watford, and we've put a new stereo system in it. So now we can resonate the sounds of Mr. Snoop Dogg himself. We need to repair the interior. Don't want to replace it, I want to restore it. We're going to paint the bodywork, we're going to leave the airbrush work, we're going to make it run and drive, and we're going to drive it to Paris. And then hopefully when I come back on this channel, either Mr. Me and Adam C have been murdered in our sleeping bags while trying to sleep in it because we can't afford the hotel rooms, or maybe I did a high five with Mr. Snoop D-O-double-G. Only the future will find out. Guys, please tag Mr. Snoop Dogg in this video.
When you're buying a pre-owned car, it is critical to get a professional mechanic to inspect it every time. And so the Lemon Squad is the easiest way to do that and the most affordable. Generally within 24 or 48 hours, they can get somebody on site anywhere in the country with their nationwide network of trained professional mechanics that are going to give you a ton of pictures and a full report of exactly what's going on with this car. It's a great way to avoid scams, and it's a great way to get a very clear picture of the car that you're buying, and this ammunition can make you the shrewdest negotiator of all. It also makes the drive home a whole lot easier and keeps a little bit more money in your pocket, and I know that you'll love the results from the Lemon Squad. So check them out now at the link in the description below for a special discount and to make sure that you're buying the car that you think you are.